So I just have to go back to women. It's just I gotta do it.
You got to go back to what?
Women.
Women?
Like to talk about them. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Man, a lot of the women talk.
You made this like bold claim about women in the military and law enforcement.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just curious, like, what's your experience with that? I'm just curious why you say that.
Why do I say that?
Yeah.
Well, my experience, I actually used to work in law enforcement myself. I was a
Okay.
special agent with Homeland for almost 10 years. So
Right.
I dealt with female agents and having to put them in operations, and it never really turned out well. I got a bunch of buddies that are in law enforcement military, and they've told me before having women on their team is bad. It just doesn't help out.
And that's just because they're women?
What's that?
So you've had bad experiences with men too then, right?
Well, again, yes, you can always have bad experiences with men
Right.
as well, but
So-
with
so
the
why-
women, it's far more prevalent.
So you're absolutely sure it's just women? So there are like plenty of men that make a lot of mistakes. Like there are a lot of male officers that just like shoot people for no reason. So I'm just like really curious why you're really pinpointing women. Like mentally, they're no different than men in like IQ and intelligence. Like that's just fact. We're not different in that way.
Actually, men and women think far differently, and we process information far
Yeah.
differently.
Okay. So maybe
we're
so.
not
Let's say
the
we
same.
think differently. Why does that make them like less capable mentally?
Well, we don't think this. See, here's the thing: you men and women are not equal, bro. We're not the same, and this is like that liberal.
Well,
talking
yeah,
point.
we're different genders, different sexes.
Yeah, but that
biologically.
affects being a different gender. Literally affects everything else from there. The way we think, the way we process information, the way that we see the world. Everything
Okay.
is different. So since we are biologically different, that completely affects the way that we view the world, and it also affects our
How come
strength
some
and
of
other
the
things.
smartest people have been women? Like, women have done big things, like in aerospace engineering and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
what
but the
about
majority
them?
are men.
Right, because like
The majority are still men.
Okay, so historically, women have had less as access to like education and like literally all their rights. So I mean, obviously, there's gonna be like, but that doesn't make women less intelligent than men. There have just been less opportunities for women.
Well, we've overcorrected. Women graduate more than men. Women are getting more degrees than men nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah, but like,
Yeah.
what about hundreds and thousands of years in the past when
No, but
women
I'm
have been
saying like
oppressed by men?
we've overcorrected, but women still don't go into certain job fields that keep the society running, despite the fact that they're more educated.
What do you mean?
Well, when it comes to infrastructure jobs, when it comes to engineering, when it comes to sewage maintenance, like jobs that
And
really
why
matter.
Is that? And why
like,
is that?
Because women have different interests
okay,
based on
but like
biology.
thousands of years ago, women weren't allowed to do that.
We're not. What I'm trying to explain to you is that men and women are different, right? And
Yeah, they're obviously different.
yeah,
than men
they're
and
very
women.
different. And since they're different,
Right.
they have different worldviews. And since they have
Yeah,
different
we have
worldviews,
different
that affects everything about how they view the world. So, despite
Okay.
the fact is, I find it interesting how women graduate more, they have more degrees, they're more educated than men are, but they still don't go into job fields that keep society running, right? They go into job fields that are like, let's be honest, HR, sitting in an office somewhere, jobs that don't necessarily keep infrastructure going because women don't have the same physical capability,
Right. Okay. So
right?
they
as
don't
men
have
do.
the same. They don't have the same physical.
And then when they
capabilities.
do go into
So
jobs
let's-
that have to do
so
with
let's
physical
go-
capability,
let's
they
go
fuck
to-
it up.
So okay. So now let's go to the military, for example. You said you're okay with them in support roles, right?
What was that?
You're okay with women in support roles in the military.
In support roles, yeah.
So like support roles are like 90% of the battle. Like
Sure.
something like that.
As long as they're not near, combat or in a position where they can fuck things up.
Right. Okay. So men can fuck things up in combat too. So I work on a military base and I see women exercising all the time, like achieving like the level of some men in the gym. I've seen it.
Great.
So they should be able to fight if they want. We're in a free country with equal rights for all. So kind of like discriminating against women for being women is just kind of insane, don't you think? Like,
I'm discriminating to protect them from themselves. And I would argue a lot of them don't want to be in combat roles anyway. See, this is the thing.
But some do. Some do. So
no,
they should have
they
that right.
don't.
Yeah, they do.
The staggering
Then why
majority
do
don't.
I see plenty of women in the
Why do
military
you think
all
women
the
haven't
time?
been in infantry for so long?
Because they weren't allowed to.
Good. Like that's
Good. But like there are
yes.
women who want to serve and protect their country in combat roles, and they
shouldn't be in infantry anyway. And that was back when America was based. That was back when we weren't idiots.
Why are men why is it their job to like determine if a woman could fight or not if they want to? That's their right. And there are women who can reach the standards
men are
of
leaders. Men are leaders. Women are not. So since we are
Women-
leaders, we
women
must be
aren't
the
leaders?
ones because we protect society. We run society.
So, like,
women don't.
So the women like teaching students, they're leaders. They're in leadership positions. They're educating society.
We're not talking about being a teacher, man.
Well, we're talking about what
We're
you
talking
just,
about
you just
military
mentioned
law
leadership
enforcement.
roles. Okay, what about women drill sergeants? I've heard plenty of men talk about how they're the scariest ones they dealt with. Yeah, I know. Funny,
All
right?
right, dude.
'Cause
Let's
you
go
just-
to the
you're
next
not
person.
in-
This guy's like just coming up with that. Women drill sergeants are scary, man. Bro,
I'm talking about like people who've served in the military.
I can't take a woman seriously. She's yelling at me like, drop down and give me 20. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, make me a
All
sandwich.
right, because you're just a loser. Because
Yeah,
like you don't
here we
respect
go.
anyone or
Here we go.
anything.
Look,
right?
look, dude. Again, you're another guy that's trying to get laid tonight. Look, I promise you, you don't have to simp like this for girls.
Because I want to get
They
laid
like
tonight.
guys
okay,
that
dude.
tell them that
That's
they're
in
dumb.
your head. You're
They
the
like
one thinking
guys-
about
they
getting
like
laid.
guys that tell
You're
them
the
like
one
it
who brings
is.
OnlyFans
Okay.
girls on your podcast so you can
Yeah,
like.
and they make better arguments than you do. This is
No.
pathetic.
Okay,
They make
dude.
better arguments than you do.
All right, well-
they at least understand their biological limitations. They at least understand
All
that.
right. Well, at least while you're on campus, at least like follow like the rules that we're supposed to follow. The Carolinian Creed.
rules?
The Carolinian Creed, where it talks about like
What?
not the Carolinian Creed.
What is that?
The rule, like the guidelines for
Apparently,
being
saying it's not a
respectful
real
of people.
thing. It's not real. Okay.
No, the guy in like your little corner is talking.
Yeah, he's, I don't know, he's making
okay,
up some
dude.
fucking. I don't even know what that is. It's probably some cucked out fucking law, like where you got to be nice or some shit to women. I don't fucking know.